Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to do another Swedish beer, and this is a brewery who I've never tried anything from. So for this one we're going up to Gothenburg, or Gothenburg as you would say in English. Very good beer city these days actually, and we're going to try my first beer from Bearded Rabbit Brewery. So this one is the Stubble Stout. It's an Imperial Stout at 9.5%, rated 90 overall on Rate Beer and 40 within the style. So that tells you it should be a really good beer, but it will be quite quirky within this kind of Imperial Stout category. And this was another one that was highly recommended by my friend Andreas at Ulri's, and he said that I really needed to check out this brewery. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and it's always cool to try beers from new breweries, of course. So anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you do want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my future reviews that hopefully I can do from Bearded Rabbit. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel. The whole channel uses a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city or state, whatever you're interested in. There's also playlists of the beers from different countries. Make sure you check out the whiskey and sake reviews as well as the interviews and other things on the channel. And as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. Always interesting to hear from you guys, and your input and support of the channel is always hugely appreciated. And do make sure you check out the link to Andreas's page in the description below. He's got a really nice little website there. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Bearded Rabbit. So Bearded Rabbit Brewery are based in Gothenburg, or Göteborg as you would say in Swedish, and it actually started out as the kitchen homebrewing experiments of Teresa Mortensen and Fredrik Gustafsson. So they actually started brewing in January of 2013 with a small 25 litre kit, and they went on to brew about 80 different types of beer in their kitchen, so they were really quite prolific at this. But apparently Teresa has a bit of a thing for beards and moustaches, so this of course had to be incorporated into the name when they were naming the company. And Fredrik also had a rabbit when he was younger, so since animal names are actually used quite a lot in brewery names these days, of course the obvious choice for the name was Bearded Rabbit. So they've since become a commercial brewery, and they've hired some new people, Fredrik, Göran, Patrik and Johan, and they also took part in the Gothenburg Beer and Whiskey Festival recently, and they actually brew their beers in a few different places around Gothenburg now. It was saying on Rate Beer that they've brewed beer at Bibliotech, also at West Coast Brewery, and also with Electric Nurse too, and in the next few years they do hope to have their own brewery as well as a tasting room and maybe even their own bar as well. So quite an interesting time ahead for these guys. Their beers have been very highly rated. They've got 12 or so different beers from what I said. Just to list those for you, there's the Bearded Barley, which is a barley wine, the Belgian Waffle, which is a strong Belgian ale, Black Hops, which is a stout, there's the Great Scott, which is an Imperial Porter, Hefenator, which is a Hefeweizen of course, Cool, which is a Kolsch, Laying Low, which is a lager, Monkish, which is an American Pale Ale. They've got Rinse and Repeat, which is a session IPA. This one here, Stubble Stout, an Imperial Stout of course, Tropical, which is an IPA, and also Up in Smoke, which is a smoke beer. I have to admit, I do really want to try that one, because as you know if you've watched my channel, I really love smoke beer. So I'll need to order that one through System Bloget sometime soon. But let's actually get on to the tasting of this one itself. So like I mentioned to you, this guy is a 9.5% Imperial Stout. Let me just bring up the camera and let you have a quick look at the artwork on this one. Quite nicely done actually. I do think the artwork on this beer is really quite nice. There you can see the rabbit with his little moustache there, which is quite cool. He's got one ear down. That's also on the bottle cap incidentally. There you can see the little pink rabbit there. It says on the sides, this is an Imperial Stout. Coffee and chocolate and caramel dominates the rich malty flavour with an elegant balance between the sweetness from the malt and the bitterness from the hops. This is a perfect companion during the cold autumn and winter months. Enjoy. Bearded Rabbit Brewery is based in Gothenburg, Sweden. We aim to deliver world-class taste experience by brewing exciting new beer with high quality. So yeah, it should be quite nice. Best before the 15th of the 8th, 2016. If I'm not mistaken, the date actually was rubbed out on that, so maybe they've actually moved the bottle when it's still been on the bottom line, but I'm sure it will be quite good. A 9.5% beer will last for quite a long time. So yeah, let's get this guy out then and we'll get on with the tasting. Really looking forward to trying this one. I do wonder if they're actually exporting their beers already, since the label is in English rather than Swedish, but as you can see, a nice smoky opener on this one. So we'll get it out and into the glass, and I tell you something, you really can smell some of that nice kind of chocolatey and roasted sweetness coming off of this one. So that's just a little over half of it out the bottle. So as you can see, this guy has poured a really nice ebony rosewood colour. There's a solid finger of quite a dark beigey tan head on this one. There's some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, but quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of the head there. So it looks really, really nice, this one, and you can smell some of that nice kind of sweetness there. I think it's definitely fair to say this is a nice ebony rosewood colour. If I hold it up to the light, it does have a little bit of a ruby edge to it, but otherwise it's quite a kind of dark, almost Coca-Cola colour, this one. Ebony rosewood is probably the perfect way to describe that, and you can see that finger of head is retaining very well. A really nice big frothy head on this one. So let's have a closer look at the aroma then. It actually smells really quite sweet. So with this one, you can smell that sort of roasted malt base to it. There's a bit of black malt in there, of course, some kind of coffee bean character, but on top of that it really is a nice big chocolate character that's coming off this one. There's definitely some kind of toasted brown sugar as well. You can really pick that up, and a wee bit, if you just go back from it a little bit and kind of just waft it like this, you can pick up a little bit of a kind of red fruity ester. It's quite sharp, so I would guess it's maybe raisins that are coming out of this one, or maybe even plums actually. It's a bit sharp, it's a bit too sharp to be figs, I would say. It's always figs, raisins and plums, and sometimes a kind of candied red fruit you get out of beers. But let's sugar it up and see what else we can get. When you sugar it up, you do actually get a little bit more of the more of the kind of coffee bean roasted character comes out of this one. Some nice toasted black malts, like I say. They're just kind of underpinning the beer, but on top of that it really is quite sweet, quite chocolatey. There's a little bit of licorice in there, I would say, actually, as well. And you can smell some of the nice toasted sweet caramel, but overall it smells like a really quite nice beer. So let's have a taste of this guy then. This one is the Stubble Stout, 9.5% Imperial Stout from Bearded Rabbit Brewery up in Gothenburg here in Sweden. Skål! That's nice actually. It's good. The thing that's surprising me a little bit about this guy, it does seem to be quite highly carbonated, which is unusual for an Imperial Stout. Usually from an Imperial Stout you do expect it to be a little bit more kind of oily and creamy in its texture. This one definitely has a good bit of carbonation to it, and that's maybe an indication of why this head is really retaining quite well on this one. Yeah, you can feel that carbonation just kind of attacking the tongue. It's not too strong and it smooths out very quickly, but there's a very kind of interesting sort of fizziness to this beer. So as I always say with these dark beers, sugar it around your palate a little bit and just let your whole mouth adjust to this one before you start analysing the flavour. So to me, this one actually comes across a lot more roasted than you would expect when you compare it to the aroma. There really is a big bit of that kind of black malt and almost coffee bean flavour just underpinning this whole beer. You could pick that up in the aroma, but I thought it was going to be quite a bit sweeter than it is. Yeah, so the beer starts off quite sweet. As I say, you get that kind of roasted black malt just underpinning that one. There's a good bit of that kind of coffee bean roasted character coming out of this beer. Then on top of that you're getting a lot more of the chocolate, some of the sweeter characters in there as well. There's a good bit of toasted caramel. You can feel that in the beginning, and the caramel, I think, and some of the chocolate starts to come out more in the aftertaste, but really as the taste goes on and on you can feel these roasted black malts and the sort of coffee beanish flavours just pushing their way out of this beer, and it does become kind of quite dry and a little bit bitter on the malt base, but really nicely done, this one. It's quite quirky, this beer, and of course as a beer reviewer that's what makes it kind of interesting. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a little bit, the malt base on this one I'm finding is quite dark. There's a good bit. I'm not quite getting the licorice in this one. Really for me, like I said, it leans more towards the big coffee malts. This, if you like your kind of coffee stouts and things like that, or if you like a big dark roasted malt base, this is an Imperial Stout you're really going to enjoy. It's not one of the sweeter ones you're going to come across, although it does have a little bit of that in the flavour. there is a wee tiny bit of the licorice flavour. You can get it just near the front of the palate, but like I say, the beer comes in, it's quite sweet, a lot of chocolate, some nice kind of toasted brown sugars, then that just subsides and you get a lot of roasted black malt in this one, some nice kind of coffee beans. So at the side of the palate there's quite a bit of earthy hop coming out as well, so you've got a nice bit of dryness in the back corners of the palate, and as you come further forward it just starts to smooth out quite evenly, but really in the back corners of the palate it is actually quite dry, a lot of earthiness there, and that pairs well with this kind of roasted coffee bitterness that you're getting from the malt base. As you go further around the front curve of the tongue there, it does smooth out even more, but that's just a gradual thing, very hoppy and bitter at the back. And as you come further forward and go around the front curve of the tongue, it really does smooth out. Just pay attention a little bit to that little oily bubble you'll get behind the front curve of your tongue too, and that's where you'll get some of these red fruity esters from the beer as well. Yeah, for me, the fruity esters in this one are actually quite candied. You just get that little bit of red fruit in there. There's a bit of figgy character in there, but for me it's really reminding me of the little hearts that you get in Haribo Star Mix. It's that kind of candied red fruit character that you're getting from this one. It's not quite sharp enough to be raisins or plums or something like that. Really for me it's more figgy and sort of and that kind of red candied fruit ester. But overall this is a really quite nice imperial stout, you know. On the basis of this one, this really does make me want to try some of their other stuff as well. The thing that makes this beer kind of quirky is the mouthfeel. So in terms of that, like I said, the carbonation is quite prominent in this one, and it makes the beer maybe seem a little bit lighter than it is. So I would pair this, I would say this one's maybe on the lighter side of mid-bodied. It could even be quite light-bodied, and probably in that kind of style category for the Imperial Stout, this is quite a light and easy drinking one. The carbonation, as I said, is quite active in this one. The malt base has a nice bitterness to it. Initially it starts off sweet, but then it really starts to move more towards the bitter, and after you leave it just to sit for a little bit, it does start to smooth out again. There's a bit of bitterness from the hops there. As I said, it smooths out as you come further forward, and there's a little bit of a nice fruity juicy character as well. So in terms of recommending this beer, if you like your Imperial Stouts to lean more towards the coffee side of things, or if you like a kind of straight out coffee stout, this is the sort of beer you're going to enjoy. It's got a nice balance between that kind of black roasted malt base and the nice kind of the sweetness. It really does kind of go between. It starts off sweet, it gets more bitter, and then it kind of smooths out and just mellows a little bit. The carbonation, as I say, is a little bit kind of quirky in this one, and there's a good little bit of alcohol warmth as well. More alcohol warmth actually from this one than I've had from some higher beers actually, but that's quite nice. As they said, it's kind of the whole point of this beer is that it's meant to be drunk in the winter. So really, really nice. A very good first impression of Bearded Rabbit Brewery, and on the basis of this beer, I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink more of their beers. I'd drink this one again. I'd be interested to try it on tap and just see if the mouthfeel gets a little bit thicker than it is in the bottle condition version. So I definitely would like to try it in that case and see how I get on with it. But overall, it's a really quite nice beer, this one, and I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink it again, and hopefully I can review some more beers from these guys in the fairly near future. So if you like a nice kind of dark roasted coffee stout, then the Stubble Stout from Bearded Rabbit Brewery in Gothenburg is going to be one that you'll really enjoy. But anyway, thank you for watching my beer reviews. I hope you've enjoyed this one. As always, do let me know in the comment section below your own thoughts on this beer, and do recommend some other beers from the brewery as well. I'm sure I'll review them over the next little while. But thank you again for watching. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. This is a really nice stout from Bearded Rabbit Brewery up in Gothenburg, a city that really is kind of booming in terms of craft beer, by the way. So if you visit Sweden and you're into your beer, that's really where you want to go. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you very soon. The Stubble Stout from Bearded Rabbit Brewing Company up in Gothenburg here in Sweden. Skål!